our presentation is about having integrated of the blue solution for a green future. We are aiming for having the possibility of using seaweeds for tackling the climate change in terms of fuel production. This idea comes from a conceptual idea. My colleague here is from Energy Sustainable Systems, and I'm from a PhD in catalysis. We come up by interlinking our ideas and think that we could aim using biomass from marine resources, highly amounts of biomass from marine resources to produce fuels. This is a good idea. Why? We have rural fisheries areas with low resources that have a seasonal economy that depends mostly of fish resources, which could be deployed, which should not be exploited too much. So we need to have another market, which is a seaweed market. We need to integrate the fisheries, we need to harvest. This is a conceptual thing. This is even not possible today, because we need also to understand what is the strings of seaweed that are able to produce at high amounts on offshore, and we need to use our fisheries, our economy, small economy, integrated in a biorefinery to produce a biodiesel or another type of fuel that will aims to be an additive for heavy fuels from oil companies. This will gain some sustainability for the process. My colleague here.
So the idea is to reach the market of the merchant fleet, because right now there is no regulation to reduce the emissions in this sector, and of course we need a liquid fuels for this sector, and that's why this is the option to our study, is getting the biofuels from the algae and produce diesel to blend in the merchant fleet. And so if you see, the merchant fleet is responsible for the main to carry the marketing of all the world, around 11 trillion of our market is carried by the sea. And here you can see the residual fuels, they are responsible for almost 2% of CO2 emissions in our global, and around 300 million of tons of oil was consumed for the sector in 2015. And the regulation right now is just for the sulfur content, and this is the main drive our study to reduce the emissions. So around 104 billion of the bunker, or the market of the bunker is moving all the year. Around 58,000 million gallons of the fuel bunker is produced, and only 1,200 of renewable and fuels are produced, but not for the marine sector still yet.
In terms of strategies, we have here across SWOT. What we need is having a strategy of strength and of opportunities. We need to enhance our economy, our sustainability economy. The main threats we have in terms of biofuel from seaweed is that the composition of seaweed is mainly water. This is a problem. And the type of carbons that we have on seaweeds are low carbons, low density of energy. So we need to integrate this kind of biomass on the high energy intensify facility of oil and try to enhance their heating value. Again, it's very important that in terms of biorefineries, a biorefinery should never. I have a background. I have been studying for 1 year on the biorefineries, the PhD, and what I came to across the study I've made is that biorefineries should not be for production of energy. Any project that says that the biorefinery will only depend on energy is wrong. The state will need to subsidize it and will not have economic feasibility. You should aim for different products, high valuable products. We saw here Alga Plus. Alga Plus has production of food. We should integrate food and energy. In terms of the pyramid, they have a value pyramid of biorefineries. And on the top of the pyramid, we have pharmaceutical products. They have a high value. However, they have a small volume. At the bottom, we have always energy with a high amount and a small value. So we need to interlink these situations. We should not be narrow towards one single product. This is the main course, the main opportunity. That's why biorefineries, if you talk about petroleum, we have only produced fuel. It's optimized to be regulated in this way. They have that kind of economic feasibility. Our biorefineries, no. The biorefineries, the main core of the process are upgrading units to enhance the commercialization of the products, of the bio-oil, the biogas that has no commercial value. And of course, we also have to have good separation units to be able to freshen the composition of the initial biomass, which is highly diversified against the crude oil. This is the process. This is modulated. We are aiming for hydrothermal liquefaction of seaweed. This is not, the concept itself, it's not new. There are some companies exploring this, especially in the Norwegian part of Europe. There have been a European production of macro fuel. It's a European group that work on that on SINTEF. You are being closing.
Just hold it.
Just hold it. That work on that. For example, my PhD project, in my research in on-catalysis. My aim here, if you look at the slide, I'm aiming for integrating the hydrogen plant on the catalytic hydro treatment. If we process biomass with high content of oxygen, we always have to be able to hydrotreat the bio-oil in order to increase their heating value and reduce their oxygen content with hydrogen. My aim is catalysis on that field. Again, it's very important. This is the composition of seaweed. Mainly, we aim on structuring this project for high production of brown seaweed. Green seaweed has low production, for example. It's mainly for food. If you talk about world production, we talk about red and brown seaweed, not green. And we should have a process that are resilient against the fluctuations of terms of chemical variability of these types of seaweed. This is another important topic. This is our main team. This is an idea. As I told you, this is an idea. We have, for this to go further, we need to work a lot. This convention helps us understand that, help us understand what we need from the market, what is the market, and we, of course, a process engineer and someone with financial support will help boosting our project. This is a roadmap in terms of projects that I'm aiming. If we have sponsorship from other people, we could go further. And of course, finally, I think I did not need the 5 minutes at all, but we can make a better place, a better world, a green world, by using 3/4 of our surface. This is the aim. This is our aim.